Weather Day.
And not a day you want to forget the umbrella. You are waking up to a first alert weather day in place for rain pretty much throughout our area. Remember to take your time on the road.
Yeah, there's a risk of flooding right now, so you are going to have to build in some extra time to take it easy out there. We're on the roads and monitoring the radar all morning long to let you know what areas you'll need to avoid.
We also have team coverage all across Georgia, monitoring those areas with the most impact. And thanks so much for joining us this morning. It's Monday, February 12th. I'm Rick Fulbaum.
And I'm Lana Harris. Let's get straight to First Alert meteorologist Rodney Harris with what you can expect throughout the day. Rodney, it's the day after the Super Bowl. People really needed the extra time today.
They are going to need that time indeed. It's going to be a rough one, Lana and Rick. So we have three elements to this First Alert weather day. The first is the rain itself. It'll basically rain all day today. In addition to that, as you mentioned, there's a high risk of flooding. And in addition to that, the risk is low, but we could also see an isolated severe storm later on this afternoon. Let's get to First Alert radar right now. If you have to step out the door right now, we are seeing rain across metro Atlanta and North Georgia in general. These green boxes that you see south of the city, these are flash flood warnings, active flash flood warnings that are in effect, including those of you in Hurd, Troup, Coweta, Fayette, South Clayton, Henry, Spalding, Lamar, Pike, and Upson counties till about 10 o'clock this morning. And First Alert meteorologist Ella Dorsey will walk you through that in more detail. That's the highest risk that we'll see for flooding this morning, although we're not seeing it right now, thankfully. I will take you into metro Atlanta, where I'm seeing some rain that's starting to pop back up, especially along and south of I-20. Most of DeKalb County getting some pretty good rain. Also, for those of you in South Gwinnett County, basically from Lawrenceville southward, you're getting some light rain. Heavier rain continues in East Georgia. If you're in Athens over at UGA, that red indicates heavy rain, but this is moving north and east, so that will eventually move away from you. As we take you to your hour-by-hour forecast, again, this is going to stick with us for basically the rest of the day. So what you see highlighted in red this morning, it's a first alert. It will certainly rain, even some isolated storms, none severe storms, just some lightning out there this morning as you're driving to work with temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. Lunchtime, we're still with our first alert, 90% chance of rain, 62. As you're picking up the kids from school, this is 3 o'clock, 50% chance of rain. That's a first alert. 64 is your temperature. So as you're driving home from work, the coverage of the rain will go down to 30%. But I've kept 5 p.m. highlighted in red because even though the coverage of rain will be lower, this is also the time where the risk of an isolated severe storm will be higher south of I-20. So that's still a first alert this afternoon. And then if you are going out to dinner tonight, we've dropped the first alert later on tonight about 7, 8 o'clock, as the rain will definitely be starting to move out with the coverage of only 30%. So I'll walk you through the high resolution forecast model in about 10 minutes. In the meantime, here is First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi with a look at the busy roads.
Yeah, of course, obviously wet this morning out there, but we have a couple of issues as well. We've been following a bus fire cleanup this morning on I-20 eastbound at Wesley Chapel, and as I speak, traffic is starting to move again. They temporarily blocked all lanes to get this cleared up, but if you're traveling I-20 eastbound, again, this is at Wesley Chapel, so if you are leaving downtown trying to head into DeKalb County, now this has cleared, but the roads are still wet, so just take your time this morning, no matter where you are going to head out. We'll take you there on our First Alert traffic map. We did see some slight delays indicated by that yellow color there, but again, that is now cleared up, so I do anticipate those delays to start to improve. Somewhere we are seeing an issue early this morning because of that rain that's been falling and continuously falling for several hours. I-285 northbound at La Vista Road, and we do have Atlanta News First reporter Don Shipman in our First Alert tracker. Don, you're on 285 headed that way to kind of get a look at how serious the flooding is there. How's it looking on your ride over that way right now?
All right, I can tell you right now that we just came off of I-675 onto 285, and we could already see some pooling on the highway. And when you hit that, you feel it. So it's something you want to keep in mind. You just want to slow down as you head out. Take a look right here. When there aren't any traffic lights, it is a little bit dark out here too, and it just creates that sheen on the road, which can be a little startling as you're driving out and about. So slow down, leave yourself some room. Hydroplaning can be an issue. You can hydroplane in as little as 1.5 inches of water. You want to avoid your cruise control so you have as much control of your car as possible. And when responding to a skid, avoid slamming on the brakes. This all according to AAA. And listen to this, I have this number for you. 1.2 million traffic crashes each year just because of wet pavement. Another reason just to slow down on the road. We are continuing our team coverage here. We are canvassing all of the metro. We have Rebecca Schramm. She is in the First Alert Weather Tracker. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Dawn. I'm in southeast Atlanta, and we want to give you a look. I'm going to punch up our roof cam so you can see where we are. This is the Krog Street Tunnel, and if you're not familiar, you can see for yourself. It's famous for its graffiti, which is ever-changing. It separates the in-town neighborhoods of Cabbagetown and Inman Park, and it is also prone to flooding. So as we drive through, we're going to check it out for you. We do see a little tiny bit of standing water off to the side, but really it's looking pretty good. We are not seeing the flooding that we often see. Now, that doesn't mean that it won't be that way later today, because we are expecting rain throughout the morning and into the afternoon, as our meteorologists are telling us, but so far so good. We're going to keep our eyes on the roads. We'll travel around for you in this news tracker of ours. We have two of those, Dawn in one, I'm in the other this morning. So we're going to let you know what we see, and we'll bring it to you live right here on Atlanta News First. Reporting live, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First. Back to you guys.
Rebecca, thanks. Yeah, it's so nice to be able to see what they're seeing before you have to head out the door, right? We want you to always be weather ready. So hey, download our free First Alert weather app. Our weather team is constantly updating that, and you'll be able to know what's happening where you are.